Good morning class. So today we are going to start the third part of this chapter. Surface on which potential is equal, which are called equipotential. I have already discussed these things. Like here it is explained that for a point charge, actually this diagram, if it is not visible to you, I am telling you that one positive charge is kept over here, and for this point charge what will be the shape of equipotential. I have already explained you. This will be the equipotential surfaces, means a circle or a sphere of equal radius, those will be equipotential. Here it is mentioned at 100 volt on inner sphere. You can say that at every point it will be 100 volt, okay, because kq upon r value will be same. Here it is mentioned at 80 volt, if you can see, and here on the third sphere it is 60 volt. Means for this point charge, this equipotential surface will be drawn like this, concentric cells you can say, and potential will keep on decreasing by property of kq upon r. For linear charge, it is mentioned what will be the potential for linear charge, okay. For linear charge, I have already explained all these things to you, that for linear charge equipotential surface will be like a cylinder or equipotential surface. Suppose if charge is provided here, okay. You can also calculate what will be the value of equipotential surface for a cylinder, because I have told you that if you have a, you can say, if you have a linear charge, okay, in that case your charge is given on this rod, and at any distance from this surface your electric field is given by the formula, that E perpendicular equal to k lambda by r and sine theta 1 minus sine theta 2, okay. These are the formulas, and for infinite rod you know that value comes out to be 2k lambda by r. All these things have been explained in first chapter. So now move for the next thing. Next concept we have properties of equipotential surfaces. All those properties I have discussed in my previous lecture, that only two properties you have to remember, basically 2 or 3 properties. This will be a quick revision for you, that the potential difference between any 2 points of a equipotential surface is 0, okay, and no work is done this thing, and direction of electric field is always perpendicular to the equipotential surfaces, okay. One more important property that was left, I think, that two equipotential surface can never intersect each other. Now you can understand this concept very easily, why we are saying so, that two equipotential surface will not will not intersect each other. Suppose you have a positive charge, and due to this positive charge at some distance r, your potential is kq upon r, and that value is given by 100 volt, suppose, okay. We have taken some charge, and suppose if we have one more equipotential surface for this charge, means we are talking about one more cell. At that point you can say your potential will be lesser, not equal to 100, it will be lesser, it may be anything. But for that point we can say that this potential and this equipotential surface will never cut each other, means this cannot happen, that here they will cut. Why? Because you know that at equipotential surface potential is same at every point. It is same here, it is same here, it is same here, okay, and it will same here also. So if it will cut, then we can say that for this equipotential surface our voltage is 100 volt at every point, okay, 100 volt at every point, and here also it will have 100 volt. So it is not possible that at a point we have two values of potential. I hope you understood this thing. However, here one more reason is given, that is also very interesting and important. Two equipotential surface can never intersect each other if they do so, that at the point of intersection there will be two direction of electric field, which is not possible. That is also correct. You can give this reason also, and you can say that there, if two equipotential surface will cut each other, then at the point of intersection there will be two values of potential, okay, at the same point, which is not possible. So either you can give that reason if you found that simple one, or you can take this one also. I can explain you this thing also. For example, suppose you have some point charge kept over here, and for this point charge equipotential surface is sphere, and we are saying that our electric field line always perpendicular to what? Always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. This is the concept. Okay, you should remember that electric field line always perpendicular to the equipotential surface. In previous lecture I explained why it is so, and this is electric field and this is equipotential surface. Okay, and this angle is how much? 90 degree. Now suppose if you try to make one more equipotential surface, and suppose if in any particular case if it cuts, however it is not possible that equipotential surface will cut each other, but suppose if it will cut like this, then suppose this is the my point of intersection. Okay, then at this point you can say your electric field will be like here. You can understand one equipotential surface is this one and one equipotential surface is like this one. At the first one, for the first one, electric field line will be like this. Why? This is even. Why? Because this angle is 90 degree. And for the second surface, electric field line will be like this one, E2, because it has to maintain angle of 90 degree. So we can say at the same point there are two directions of electric field, which is not possible. Okay, so by this method also you can give your answer. So next case we have a charge induction in a metal body. Okay, we have to understand like if there is any metallic body kept and near to the metallic body some charge is placed, then what happens inside the metal? We know that inside the metal there are many numbers of electron on its surface, and from where these electron comes? These electron comes from valence shell of the metals. Okay, you can understand like in case of copper, or you may say zinc, there are many d subcell. You can understand it very well, and there are basically many number of free electron available in these subcells. So what happens that inside this metallic body, I can write it like metal body, the number of electron which are present, those electrons will get attracted by this plus q charge. Okay, and we know that whenever there is some atom, for example you can consider Na, okay, or not Na, just take Cu plus. Okay, then in case of copper, we know that from copper, if one electron goes to the left hand side, the Cu plus ion will remain left. Okay, and we know that inside a metal no charge can exist, so all these ion will appear to the other side of the surface. So this phenomena is called induction of the surface. As you can see in this diagram as well, here we have metallic body, and some negative charge has produced over here and positive charge has got appeared over the right hand side. Like in this case, you can understand in this diagram what I have done. Basically I have mentioned the same thing. This positive charge plus q I have mentioned over here, and due to this positive charge, in this way induction will take place. So I am saying basically that here we have some external electric field. This is your E external, or you can say that this is due to what? Due to plus q charge. Okay, so what happens that in that case these positive ions will experience some amount of force in direction of electric field. Similarly, these electron will experience some electric force opposite to this external electric field, but they cannot leave the surface of the metal, because for that we require more amount of electric field, or strong electric field you can say. Okay, or more amount of energy is required to make the charged particles to leave the surface of the metal, but however they will appear in this way. So one more thing we can notice, that due to this positive charge and due to this negative charge, some induced electric field will also set up in such a way that it will have opposite direction to that of external electric field. Okay, in this case. So in case of metal only, we can say that in case of metal, this induced electric field is actually equal to what? This is equal to external electric field. Why? Because if you will apply external electric field, many number of electron will come to the left hand side. Okay, and we have no foundations that how many electrons are sufficient or not in numbers. We have sufficient electrons for metal, we know it very well. So electron will experience force. Suppose if we talk about a particular electron, just think like one electron is present over here. Okay, obviously its parent atom or parent ion, you can say parent ion will also be present over here, both are together, that's why it is neutral. But I am saying that electron will experience some force due to this external electric field. Okay, and due to external electric field, force on negative charge is opposite to the electric field. Due to this red one, this red symbol means this is F external, and we can say that we have induced electric field also, and that is the black one, induced electric field. This induced electric field will also apply force, and electron will experience force opposite to the induced electric field F. Okay, so suppose if your F external is more, just try to think, if F external is more than F induced, or you can say that E external is basically more, okay, then E induced, Q to Q will be cancelled out. If this external electric field is more and induced electric field is less, then you can say due to this external electric field, the net force that will be experienced by a negative charge, that will be towards left only, because this force is stronger. But as soon as this electron will appear to the left hand side, it will increase the amount of induced electric field, because positive ion will gather towards right, you can say, and due to this positive and due to this electron, amount of induced electric field then increase, and there may be a possibility that after some time both electric field may be equal. So actually that time lag is very less in case of metal. So as soon as we apply the external electric field, at the same time we can say our net electric field inside metal becomes 0. So this is the concept behind this metal behavior, why it shows 0 electric field. Next property we have, that is calculation of electric potential and electric field, but due to induced charge. Okay, now try to understand, or I think it is not required here to draw another circle. You can understand from here only, that from the diagram, suppose we are given a charge plus Q. Okay, and due to this charge, and we have an uncharged sphere also at a particular distance r from this point charge Q. You can say we have a sphere, its center is C, from its center at a distance r there is some charge kept plus Q. Okay, and one more thing is given, that there is no charge present on this sphere, and this is also given that we have basically a metallic sphere. So if you will place plus Q charge over here, then Q induce, as you can see this is mentioned as Q induce, will appear at this surface. Okay, and Q induce will again appear to the right hand side on this surface, as I told you just now. So question is that if we took a general point, suppose I have taken this general point A only, then what will be the electric field at A, at this position? What will be the electric field at A? So just ignore for a while, just ignore this sphere, just think we have only plus Q charge at some place, and from plus Q charge this point A is such that this particular distance is x. Okay, then this from this plus Q charge at a distance x, what should be the electric field? You will say that electric field should be kq upon x square, and away from the positive charge, that is okay. But we have this metallic sphere over here. Okay, and inside a metal there should not be any electric field. Okay, so thing is that this minus Q charge, okay, this will get some, this will generate some electric field at this point A, and this plus q charge will also generate some electric field. Okay, suppose this plus q charge will generate electric field in this direction. Okay, this is E1 due to plus q charge away from the positive charge. And from the center we can consider this is approximate direction of electric field due to what? Due to negative charge. So overall their average should be such that it should be just opposite to or just in the direction of this line. This electric field should be exactly kq upon x square, and its direction just should be opposite to the direction of this electric field, that is due to plus q. Only in that condition we can say that net electric field at this point A is 0, because at A one electric field towards here kq upon x square, this is due to plus q, and this whole arrangement due to this whole system electric field should be opposite to this. So if someone asks you what is the electric field due to the induced charge, you can say that electric field at A is due to electric field at A due to q plus electric field at A due to induced charge. Electric field at A is 0 due to electric field as q due to q is kq upon x square. So we can write from here that electric field due to induced charge is kq upon x square with negative sign. Now if we talk about potential, what is the potential at A? Okay, so we can understand that charge is a scalar quantity, and the equal amount of positive and negative charge present over here, and inside a metal electric potential is constant. So potential at A will have a similar value as that of potential at C, and potential at C due to induced charge only will be 0. Why? Because the equal amount of negative and positive charge present over here. But if I ask you what is the potential at C due to this plus q, then you will say that potential at C due to what? Due to plus q, that will be equal to kq upon r, or that is, you can simply write kq upon r. So net potential at C will be equal to what? That is kq upon r, that is due to this plus q, plus 0, that is due to induced. And the potential at A will also be equal to potential at C, and we can write that potential at A is again what? Kq upon r. Now if someone asks you that calculate potential at A due to only induced charge, okay, potential at A due to this induced charge, that will not be not equal to 0. So what you will write, that potential at A, actually if we talk net potential at A, that is kq upon r, which was at C. Okay, now this potential at A, net potential, is due to what? Is due to plus q charge. So we'll write potential due to q plus potential at A due to minus due to induced charge also. So we can write V A net equal to sum of VQ plus V induced. Okay, and due to VQ we can say due to this plus q charge, potential at A will be kq upon x, and potential due to induced charge we don't know, but potential at A, net potential, we know the answer, that is kq upon r. So from here we can get potential due to induced charge equal to kq upon r minus kq upon x. So this is the simple answer. Next thing we have to understand that how we can provide charge to a metal plate. Okay, this concept will be useful when we will study about capacitors, but before that, here only I am telling you, suppose if you are given a particular metallic plate, okay, like this, and you are providing some charge to this metallic plate, say q amount of charge you are providing, then, and suppose if we have one more metal plate over here, suppose this charge is q2 and to this plate you have provided q1 amount of charge. Okay, then suppose how much charge will come to this surface. Suppose some amount of charge got appeared over here and some charge will appear on this surface. We can't say that will be negative or positive right now, but we will consider with unknown sign. I am writing positive just for understanding, but you may think that this is unknown, q1, q2, q3 and q4. This much amount of charge will appear on the surfaces. Then you can say that q1 plus q2 is actually total charge you provided, that is capital Q1. This is our equation number 1. And you can also say that q3 and q4, q3 plus q4 equal to q2 amount of charge. Okay, so in that case one property we will utilize, that is what? Actually these are metal plate. Capacitor is made up of conductors. So inside any metal plate your electric field is what? At this point electric field is 0. And inside this metallic plate electric field is again what? 0. So at this point how much will be the electric field? Suppose this plate has a area A, then at this point how much will be electric field? That will be 0. But at this point I am saying, just think like, if we have an infinite plate and that plate is provided some charge, for example here this charge is q1 I am saying, then at this particular point where your electric field is 0, I am talking about this point, say this point is P. Okay, this P point, in this case it is not 0, just consider I am talking about this particular case only. Then electric field due to infinite plate at any point is given by sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. You understand it? So same thing you have to apply here also, that electric field at P should be 0 and this will be due to the q1 charge, that is sigma 1 upon 2 epsilon naught. Okay, due to this q1 charge sigma 1, and plus due to this q2 charge electric field will be in opposite direction. Okay, like this one. So I will write minus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught, and due to this q3 also electric field will be in opposite direction. Okay, I am considering all charges positive one. If any charge will be negative, that will come out as a result sigma 3 upon 2 epsilon naught minus sigma 4 upon 2 epsilon naught. Again just think that this q4 charge is nothing but it is provided on a straight infinite rod. Okay, this q4 charge, and I am saying that at this point P, due to this q4 charge, what will be the electric field? That will be sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, that is constant electric field away from positive charge. I have considered that this gap is very less, distance between these two plates. Then all this value should be equal to 0. From here you can say that sigma 1 should be equal to sigma 2 plus sigma 3 plus sigma 4, or sigma 1 is actually what? q1 upon a1, charge upon area, and that is equal to q2 by a plus q3 by a, and similarly q4 by a. A to a will be cancelled out. We can say that q1 is basically nothing but sum of q2 plus q3 plus q4. This is our equation number 3. Similarly you can get equation number 4 at this particular point. Say this point is Q. We can say that at point Q our electric field should be 0. Why at Q electric field is 0? Because Q point is placed at the interior of this plate. That's why. and electric field at Q will be 1 due to this positive charge plate, due to this infinite plate, and one portion of electric field will be due to this infinite plate, and one due to this, and one due to this. Basically here we have 4 infinite plate, and at this point Q, your electric field due to the first infinite plate, that will be again, now I can directly write Q by A, that is sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, plus due to Q2 also again new sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught, plus due to Q3 also electric field will be up away from the positive charge or away from the plate, and it will be Q3 upon A upon 2 epsilon naught. But due to this Q4, electric field will be towards left, so we will write Q4 upon A upon 2 epsilon naught. From here we can say all these values will be cancelled out, and we can say that Q4 equal to Q3 plus Q2 plus Q1. So all this I am writing only 3 or 4 useful equations. Here you can see I have mentioned all 4 equations. This equation 3 is from here I have taken, that Q1 equal to Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4, that I have mentioned over here. Okay, and after solving this you can understand Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 of same sign and Q4 of negative sign, towards right it will become positive, and equation 4 can be written in this way. So from equation 2 you can check that from equation 2 what I can say, that Q3 plus Q4. Okay, from equation 2 and equation 3, see here also Q3 and Q4 are given, here also Q3 and Q4 are given. Basically in our 4 equations, if you see carefully, there are 4 variables. Listen, capital Q1, capital Q2 are known, but small q1, small q2, small q3, small q4, these 4 are unknown. So if 4 values are unknown, then what we can do, I will make one equation in terms of q1 and q2. Okay, that is already given, equation number 1, and second equation is given in terms of q3 and q4. Okay, so instead of that equation q3 plus q4, I will try to replace this q3 and q4 by q1 and q2. Okay, like here you can see q3 plus q4 is given q1 minus q2. From 3 you can say what, from equation 3, q1 minus q2 equal to q3 plus q4. Now replace this value of q3 and q4 in equation number 2. Okay, then you will get q1 minus q2 equal to capital Q2. This is our equation number 5. And one equation we already have, that is q1 plus q2 equal to q1. So we have 2 equations and 2 variable. We can solve it. Just simply add both the equations. You will get 2 times of q1 equal to, I think this is q1, so you will get q1 plus q2. From here you can write q1 equal to q1 plus q2 by 2. Simple. One answer is this one. Means if we have 2 metal plate, then on the outer surface how much charge will present, how much charge will appear, q1, that will be equal to summation of q1 and q2, sum of q1 plus q2, and divided by half. Simple. Now what will be the q2? From 1 we can say q2 equal to capital Q1 minus small q1, and this will become capital Q1 minus q1 plus q2 by 2. From here if you will solve this, you will get 2 q1 minus q1, q1 minus q2 by 2. This is value of q2. Okay, so at this surface, inner surface, charge Q2, you have to learn this also, as well as Q2 will be difference of these two charges. Just learn it. Whatever charge you are providing, just difference them, just make their difference Q1 minus Q2 and divide it by 2. That will be Q2, and if you will add them, you will get that charge Q1. Okay, simple. This is very simple to remember. Now if we talk about Q3, what will be Q3? So using equation 3 and 4, you can say that value of Q4, replace this value in Q3. In equation 3 you will get Q1 equal to Q2 plus Q3, and Q4 is again what? Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. So what are the term that will cancel out? Q1 to Q1 cancel out. So from here we will get twice of Q2 plus Q3. I think this is equal to 0. So from here you can say that Q2 equal to minus times of Q3, or similarly simply you can say that Q3 is minus times of Q2. And if you remember, I told you Q2 is what? That is difference of charges Q1 and Q2 and divided by 2. Simple one. Similarly you can get Q4. If you will solve it, then Q4 will come out to be Q1 plus Q2 by 2. Okay, you have to solve these equations, and after solving, this result will come out. So you have to remember this result. Next time I will tell you some numerical based on this concept. Okay, because these concept will be useful for capacitor also. Okay, for today it's enough, and just revise all these things and practice all these concepts. Try to solve all these derivations by yourself in your notebook. Okay, thank you.